Hi everyone, good evening, and thanks for jumping on and joining me tonight. Just seeing the side chat is beginning to bounce already. Switch that off. So sorry I missed last Monday, guys. It's just after coming back from vacation, there was so much inventory here, so much to sort out for mine and Tommy's truck that I just couldn't get away with jumping on and doing the stream. I had so much to do, and but I did a stream yesterday. I just jumped on. I was out in the loading room. I was doing some neck turning, some neck cutting on some 308 Starline brass. So I thought I'd just jump on and do a little stream. And I can see a few guys on here tonight who were with me yesterday. So you saw us doing some neck cutting and sizing, ready to load up for the new FN Scar I bought. So we're going to finish off tonight. We're going to do some charging of some 7mm mag first on the fn120 scale. I'll show you the whole setup quickly. We'll do charging, we'll seat some bullets on the 7mm, and then we'll empty the machine out and change it over to a different powder for the 308, and we'll do the same with the 308. So you can see how pretty simple it is to change everything out on the FN scale. So I can see some of you already is hashtag Mac55. I've just got a couple of stickers. I got my channel sticker tonight. I have these really bright Mossberg stickers. I really like these. They stand out really nice. I've got a Kimber. Drop it on the floor. Little white. It's hard to see, but there's a Kimber sticker there. And a couple of patches. We've got the FN patch, and I've got the Daniel Defense patch as well to go tonight. And obviously we'll always do the pocket screwdrivers. So that will get you in the draw for tonight. Hashtag Mac55. Excuse me. So let's just go up and see who's jumped on here. Gene, reloading from the hot pot, was first on tonight. Colt 1927. Walter's out there. VAO's out there. Good to see you, Walter. Brutal Bob is with us. Hey, Bob. Thanks for joining us. We got Shane 44 Mag. Rich B. Good to see you, Rich. See you, Shane. Thanks for jumping on. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. I think he was with us yesterday, and I think Rich B was with us yesterday. Tactical Rabbit 308 is out there. Good to see you guys. Keep going down. Willie Morano. Good to see you, Willie. Bamba Dad. Good to see you, Bamba Dad. He says he loves that sticker. I have it in my reloading cabinet door. That's great. Thank you so much for joining us. And OL1 guys out there, good to see you. And that's it at the moment. We're up to date there. So don't forget, hashtag Mac55 will get you in the draw tonight. So yesterday, if any of you joined us on the stream, you saw me getting some Starline 308 brass ready. So this batch was all new brass. So we went ahead and we did the neck turning on it. Maybe you can see that or not. Just about see the lines down there. So we neck turned all these yesterday, and we sized them, and I've sized them back so there's 5 thou of tension on the bullets. I won't be crimping them, even though they're going into a semi-automatic. I'm not going to be crimping them. I don't tend to crimp them. The tension I get through using my neck sizing dies seems to hold these semi-automatics fine. New reloaders, I'll go over it again. If you're doing it, crimp them until you get to know your rifle, until you get to know your ammo and everything. Just do your crimp, and then once you're more experienced and you're happy to go ahead and you can get the tension right on these, maybe then drop the crimp off. But I'd always recommend crimping them. It's just me that I don't tend to crimp them. I use them for precision loads, and I tend to find that it gets a little bit inconsistent when I crimp them. So I tend not to crimp them. So I went through and we did those. And I also had some once fired, which we just sized up. These have all been sized. They've been annealed, cleaned, neck sized. The shoulder has been bumped on these, and I primed them. So it's all done on a different process. So we're not going to be doing a complete round tonight. All we're doing is just charging and seating some bullets. And I ran through and did these earlier. So these are 7mm mag. They're on Nosler brass. This is all probably once or maybe twice fired. The necks have been cut. Again, they've been annealed, they've been sized. I've shoulder bumped them. The empty cases here have been primed, so all we're going to do is powder charge them. And I'm using Hornady. They're like a molly coated bullet, really black and dirty. These things are. They came in a batch of bullets I bought on one of my adventures when I go out buying stuff. So they're like a molly coated bullet, and they work really well. They're very, very consistent in weight, and they shoot really well. And they were about half the price of buying normal full metal jacket. And for plinking and playing around, going to the range, they work fine. So what we're going to do tonight first is we're going to go through and we're going to charge those cases using the zero press. We'll do the whole process. Bambadad. This will scare the heck out of me. Yeah, it's something that you don't want to be doing as a new reloader. What I've done with these is I've set the tension on these before to the same as this. I've loaded up the magazine, I fired, and then the last couple of rounds I've left in the magazine just to see if the bullet has moved with the recoil of the gun. These are bolt gun ones, so these are fine. But with the semi-automatics, I load up a full magazine of 20 rounds. The last 5 I've measured, marked on the case, put it on the bottom of the magazine, and then fired them all through. And then I come back and I've measured them to see if there's any movement at all. And with 5 thou of tension, they're not moving. They're perfect. But that's years of experience. So any new loaders, I'll say, just crimp till you're, and then play about with trying to, if you want to get precision loads and you want to get rid of that crimp, excuse me, and you want to get rid of that crimp, start messing around with tension and be super, super careful. Maybe just do 2 rounds in the magazine, shoot one and check that one and measure it. And if it's moved at all, you know it needs a bit more tension. And it's just trial and error with different things when you want to start going into that. But I wouldn't advise you doing that, especially as a new reloader. But I'm just talking about what I do. Follow the ground rules, do it right, and you'll be good. Just see if anybody else has jumped on here. Dale Pogue is out there. Good to see you, Dale. DJ Play Nice, thanks for joining us. And I think that's back up to date. So let me just move the camera. Okay, so there is the AND 120i lab scale, and it's got the V4 powder trickler on the top. So I'm just getting everything set up here, make sure that I've got everything done here. Let me move this back a sec so you can see everything what we're doing here. So the scale actually works off your phone, off an app on your phone, which is great. So powder chamber, similar to what Lee do. They've got a plug in the bottom where you can turn this. So you can turn it to open it and close it. Just turns, because he's closed there. Sorry. And then you can turn it and it opens it up to let the powder through into the back of the chamber here. So it's closed at the moment. We can drop it back on. And we're doing the 7mm mag. And I got a pretty nice powder. This Winchester 780 works really nice with 7mm mag. I don't think it's available. They did stop producing this a couple of years ago. It was the go-to powder for a lot of 7mm mag shooters, and I ended up buying about £10 of it. And I think I'm down to about £3.5. So I'm going through it. I don't think it's available anymore. Maybe wrong. They might have started doing it again, but it's great powder for 7mm mag. So all we're going to do is we're just going to drop it into the hopper, and then we can go through and turn the whole unit. It's hard to see, but it drops it into like a chamber, like it's on the front here. And then with the phone, try and get this, you can see this as well. So before starting, it's all zeroed, it's set in grains, and the phone comes up and we just say disconnected. So we can press scan in, press connect, and there you go. I'm connected to the machine. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to run the fast controller, which is the larger of the, let me bring this down a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. So the larger funnel feed is going to go first. So with the phone, we're just going to hit fast. You can see that centerpiece is turning and the powder's coming through and it's going through. So I know we've got powder there now, so I can stop that. And then there's, on the other side, it says slow, which is the trickler part, which is the smaller tube down here. And all you want to do is you just want to let it go until it starts dropping the powder. Sometimes you can just lean this forward just a touch to help it come through. And there we go. It started to come through. I got powder coming out of there now. And then I can stop that. Put the powder back in the top. And that goes back to zero. So I'll move this back just a little bit. Hopefully we can see everything here now. So I've already loaded up 60 grains in the back here. I've done 60 grains, 60.5, 61, 61.5, and the last one is going to be 62 grains. I'm going by the load data center that I've used on the Hodgdon site. Hopefully you can see that. Minimum for everything I got set up here is 59.2, maximum 63. So we started at 60 and we're going to max out at 62. So we're well within the tolerances. Let me just grab this guy. Just a second, my grandson's here. Hey, buddy. Okay. I'll probably come down tomorrow night and take a look. I'm doing my stream at the moment, so I'll give you a call in a bit. Okay. Okay. Bye. Sorry about that, guys, and my grandson. I don't like not answering the phone to him. So you can see we're well within the tolerances of the lowest and highest. So everything's great. And it also, I've corresponded it with a book and we're getting the same readings. So we have 9 cases to fill. And it's as easy as going in and setting 62.0. Hopefully you can see that. 62.0 is what we want. We just hit go and the machine is going. So it runs the larger one first and then the bottom one. Bamba Dad, yeah, always good answer, my son, and thanks, Walter. I appreciate that. And I think someone asked what powder it was. Let me get back over onto the Bamba Dad. Yeah, Winchester 780. Winchester 780 is what we're using. It's Supreme 780. Okay, so there you can see it stopped now, it's set up. I use these extreme hardcore gear funnels. They got the little groove in them and they sit perfectly on top of on the case. Doesn't catch on the way down and they work really well. So you can see there we've got 62. So I'm going to pull that out. Just drop it in gently. Put it back in. Move the powder funnel once you've filled, so you know next time you go into an empty one, you can see it automatically starts and goes through. Let's catch up with everybody else who's here. Alaska One Andy has jumped on. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for jumping in, Gene. I can see you've got to go. Thanks for joining us. It's great. Good to see you. Alaska One Andy's there. I think I said hi to Willie. M. Gabriel has joined us. Good to see you. Okay, so you can see that's now gone to 62 there. So we can just pull it out, drop it in, go back in, move the funnel again onto the next piece, and let it go through and do its thing. Bamba Dad says he's got feedback coming back. Has anybody else got feedback? Hopefully it's not, but hopefully it's not coming from my end. James Pollard is out there. Good to see James. See, it's just 61.98 and 62. So there we are. We can just pull him out, drop it in. It's taken probably 15, 20, 25 seconds to do a fill because it does the drop first and the small one. But it takes a little bit of a time with this machine, but it works so good. I'm just checking if anybody else has jumped on. Gizzard Gary's out there. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. I think I'm up to date again there now. Yeah, so every time you drop the powder, guys, when you put your cup back onto the scales, move your powder measure. You can see with these straight away if you're overfilling or you've missed because there's so much powder going in there. So this one has dropped 0.2, but it has stopped. So it's there you go, 62. It dropped one kernel there. So you can drop that. Move the powder funnel over. I'll go again. So we've got another 5 to do, and then we'll show how we empty it and everything. Back up to 62, just popped over by 0.2, but it's the second unit after the dot, so it's probably 1 grain of powder has pushed it over. Super sensitive this scale is. So just to go over again, it's the AND fx120 scale. Comes with all the shroud and everything with it, and then I got the V4 trickler on top, which runs the big powder funnel first to a certain point, then it drops the smaller one at the later point. Here we go, 62. Drop that. Move the powder funnel. Like I said, it's all done from the app. And if I needed to go in and stop this or change this, all I'd do is I'd hit that button there and it would stop the machine. If I needed to put something else in, I can go in and speed things up, slow things down. There's all different calibration settings all on the app, and make this really just a really nice scale to use. And if you like super fast and you just want to go through and blow a load of powder out, fill your cases, it's probably not the way to go. This is more of a precise way of doing it. And you can see it doesn't take super long, but it does take a little bit, because it gets up to a certain point with a big funnel, and then we start dropping with a small funnel. And hopefully you can see those numbers going up there. We got 2 more to do. 62. Can drop that. I've got 1 more to do, so just move the powder funnel to the last spot. There we go, just about there. 96, 98, and 62. So now that you're on your last fill and you don't want it to do it, all you'll go in and you'll hit this top button, turns it back to blue, and it's ready to program in for the next weight. And now when we empty this, pop it back in there, it won't automatically start. So put the funnel up there for a minute, move my phone. So I'm just going to move these for a second, and we'll empty the scale. So it's just a matter of first bringing this up. So get your powder container ready. Little funnel. So I'm going to close by turning the powder measure. We can close the actual little lock door in it, and now we can just lift that straight off, and it comes clean off. And then it's a matter of just drop the powder out back into the can. Takes a few times because it catches in the bottom a little bit. So it's just a couple of times to make sure we get all the powder out. And you can turn this on just to make sure it all comes out. And there we go. We're clear and clean in the powder funnel. So that part is done. And on the back side, where the powder funnel was, there's this compartment which looks the same as this front compartment. And it's got a sliding door which just comes up and down. So all I'm going to do is I get a little plastic cup and put it in behind, just underneath the container, and just lift the flap up, and it drops the powder. Drop it back down, and then we want to start turning it. So what I'll do is I go into the fast one first, turns the main one, and it's emptying the powder out. And like I said, you can just pull this forward just a touch to help it, and now you can see it's not going up at all. If you look at the numbers, it's not going up at all, so we know that one's empty. So I can stop that by just hitting stop, and then do the slow one. So hit the slow one again. We're just leaning forward just a little bit, and if you look, you can see the numbers creeping up as it's emptying out all the powder. Still pulling some. So what I'll do is I also go back in, and you need to lift this up again, and you get powder coming out, because as these pipes are turning, there's some powder coming back in and out. So we just lean it forward again, make sure we're getting it all out. I can still see there's a few grains coming through. There's still a few grains in there that are falling. There you go, it's pretty much empty there now. It's not going any further. Just going to check the back. Pull this up, and any little bits of powder left in, I just brush them out. Now I can stop the unit by just hitting stop, and it stopped it. And then whatever's come out into the can, just drop it back in. There you go. See the powder container back up. Go over here, ready to go back into storage. And then I can sit the powder funnel, which is still closed, back on top. Just sits there. So the machine now is all done. I just got to empty the pot. And there we go. It's all back to zero. The pipes are empty of powder, the unit, the hopper, everything is all ready for the next powder to go in. So it's as easy as that, just to empty all the powder out and get rid of everything, which makes it really nice, really easy. So let me just check if there's any more questions there. Code says, did I change from G to GN? Yes, I got caught out with that once, Code. I think the first time I did a stream or a video on this machine, it was on G, and I dumped it and it filled the pot, it filled the whole scale, there was powder everywhere. So yes, that's something you've got to be really remember to do, that you've got to change it from grains, from grams to grains. Because it says he's watching on the big screen in his living room. It's like being there. That's great. Okay. Let me just move this over to the zero press now. Zoom out. Okay, so we're over by the zero press. Let's bring that up a little bit. So like I said, this has already been set up. We've got this set up for the seating die, the length and everything, and everything's all locked in. So it's just a matter of popping the case in. And one thing with these haven't really got a boat tail on them. Lucky enough that they are seem to be chamfered just a little bit on the end, which helps. But when you're using these flat base bullets, guys, you need to be super careful, because they can catch when you're seating them and they can just fold the neck down. So you need to be nice and careful when you're doing it. But lucky enough that there is a little cut off on these. So there you go. You want to sit it in as square as you can get it, and slowly through, especially with these, just do it nice and gentle all the way through and out. And there you go. So we're not doing the full reloading. You're not seeing me priming, sizing, annealing, neck trimming. All we're doing is we've done a bit of a charge and we've seated a bullet. So we're not making a complete round, guys. To stay within YouTube guidelines, all I've done is 2 stages, and you're not seeing the other 6 or 8 stages. So it's just showing that the end part of it. And just as a measurement on these, I got these set, and we're seating them to 3.270. They range in within a couple of thou, because obviously these tips have got soft tips on them and they tend to move a little bit, but we're seating them at that. So we can just go on to the next one, pop it in there nice and square, seat the bullet in there, trying to keep it as nice and square as you can, gently up into the die. You can see I'm contacting the metal here, which pushes up inside to keep everything square. See that little piece going all the way up inside, keeps everything nice and square on these redding dies. And there you go. Just go down and get these done, and then we can do the caliper changeover. So nice and gentle, even stroke all the way through. And you can see with this zero die, if I grab this, look, this is what they call is the zero die. There is just no movement anywhere on this press. It's an amazing press, and it's big enough so I can do my 338 Lepore on here as well. You can see these moly coated bullets, how dirty they are, how grubby they are, but they do shoot really well, just like a normal full metal jacket or whatever you'd buy, but half the price, because you can buy them on clearance with these moly coated bullets. I don't know if any of you guys out there have ever used them, or you do use them, but I get good results, and they don't hurt the pocket too much. There you go. You can see they're doing a nice job there. And then if you were doing this as a new reloader, you go in and you do a little crimp right on the top. You'd crimp into the cannula there and put a nice little crimp on it. A couple more to do, guys, and then we go back to the see how dirty they are. Let me just do these last three quickly. And then I'll read the questions. If there's any questions or comments, guys, we can go back to them then. So like most of you knew, I went to the Formula One Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. We went up to Montreal to watch the Grand Prix. We had an absolutely fantastic time. The Canadian Grand Prix is a great place to go. A lot of walking. We were doing probably 5.5 miles walking every day. By the time we had to walk from the hotel to the metro, and then from the metro all the way to the grandstand and back again, it was a 5.5 mile walk every day. But who cares? You go into a Grand Prix, it doesn't really matter. And there you go. There's the last one done. So I've already got these set up. So I got 3 calipers on here. I got 300 Win Mag, 7mm mag, and 308. So to go in, we can just undo this bolt at the back, turn this unit, and then we want to get to the 308 seat and die, which is going to be this one, I believe. Just make sure and read everything here. 308 seat and die. So that one needs to sit there. This one's the pin on that one. Torque this back down with a little torque gauge. They do T-bar torque gauge. You can just see it breaks away, and we got the 308 seat and die ready to go. Wipe my hands down, get some of this moly coated stuff off them, and there you go. All done. Nice. There's 49 rounds, and then on my boxes, you can see 7mm mag. The date is today's date. Starline brass, 170 grain moly, 3.275, 780 Supreme. For the FN scar, they have been neck cut, and then just inside then I've got my 60, 60.5, 61, and down to 62, and I line them up. So when I go shooting, I will know exactly what's in the box, what are the grains, and I can see which one shoots the best. So that's how I do my boxes there, guys. I'll just move back over onto the scale. This time we're going to do the 308s. So it's just be a quick changeover. And let me check the... Bamba Dad says that coating wipes off. It does wipe straight off. You could even put them in a tumbler and clean them up so you haven't got that black stuff on them, but I just leave them as they are. It's just something I just leave there. I don't bother and worry too much about it. Kyle Lusk has joined us. Good to see you, Kyle. Tactical Rabbit said he had some of those moly coated bullets for 223. He's used those. Coat says, have you had any difficulty removing moly coating from your barrel? To be honest with you, I haven't even looked at it. A completely different subject. So with my precision rifles, I know it's loads of different controversies and ways people talk about them. But when I get a brand new rifle, I will shoot one round through it and run a patch up through it. I'll shoot another round and run a patch. I'll shoot 5 rounds, probably over an hour, and run 5 patches through it to clean it down. Once that is done and the barrel is cooled, I'll shoot 5 rounds, clean it. Then I'll shoot 10 rounds and clean it. That barrel will not get cleaned again, maybe for 250, 300, 400 rounds. Because what will happen is, as I'm shooting, the brass and everything is building up inside that barrel and bringing your group size down. And a lot of people say you shouldn't do it that way. Other people say that's the way to do it. I like to do it this way, and then I'll shoot. And then you'll see maybe after 60, 70 rounds, you've got a super tight group. And that group will stay tight maybe for another 200 or 300 rounds. And once that group starts to open up, then the fouling's got too bad inside the barrel and it needs a clean. And I will go in and I'll give that a clean, all the way back to almost factory spec. I'll brush it, clean it, brush it, clean it. But then you have to shoot another 40, 50 rounds to build a little bit up inside that barrel to get your groups tight again. So my long range stuff, I don't clean. I don't clean my barrels at all. I know a lot of these competition shooters, they go away and they keep their barrel clean all the time. They clean it after certain rounds or maybe after 50 rounds. But that's way they're consistent all the time. They might not be getting in the tightest group, but they're getting a really consistent group so they know where they are. So they can shoot 50 rounds in a competition. Maybe the next day they clean their barrel and shoot another 50 rounds. And they always know they're within a certain range. When I'm doing it, I have to build up to my tightest group, run through with it for a few hundred rounds, and then start all over again. If I was doing competition, I'd do it a different way, but I'm not shooting that much through these guns to worry about having to clean that gun all the time. So it's just the way I do it, guys. I know everybody's different, but it's just the way that I tend to do it. Okay, so we got the Starline brass, which has been cleaned, neck sized, it's been neck cut, neck sized, and everything's been done on this on a different program or a different stream. So all we're doing is powder charging and seating the bullet. So we're not doing the completed round, guys. We're just doing 2 processes of a 8 or 10 process. I got to keep saying it because I want to stay within the guidelines for YouTube, okay? So these have been annealed. They've been sized, and these are going to be going in the FN scar. So they have a 5,000 neck tension on them. So that would be plenty for what I need to do. So back over onto the scale. I like using Norma 203B powder. I was lucky. I went to my local gun store 4 or 5 years ago, and he said to me, I've got all this Norma powder, it's not selling, do you want to buy the whole lot? And I said, well, what's it for? It was for 223, 308, 7mm mag, all different things. And it was probably maybe £50 of powder there, of various different ones. And he says, if you want to buy it all in one go, I'll do you a deal on it. I said, okay. And he ended up selling me about £50 of powder for 10 bones a pound, which I couldn't say no to. and I ended up getting, lucky enough, I had £15 of this 203 powder, which is mainly for 308, 220 Swift, 30 odd 6, and even a 338 Winchester mag, but mainly for 308. And I thought, for that money, you can't go wrong. So I bought a bunch of it. I bought every one he had for that sort of money, and I've been using it through, and I've used most of it up. I've just got a few pound of that 203 left. Okay, so we dropped it in. Now we can just turn it to let the powder fall into the back chamber. Fills the back chamber up. Again, just get onto your phone, hit fast, and that'll start feeding the powder through, as you can see there. So the main tube is running and done, so we can stop that. Now we need to do the small tube, so we hit the small or the slow button, hit that one, and you can see it's turning. Again, I can just lean this forward just a little bit to help it with the inertia to get it to come through. And once they start coming through, you can see the numbers are going up there. So we got powder coming through. And now all we do is hit the blue to stop it, or hit the slow again down there to stop it. And then what we're going to do is just empty the powder back in. The lid can go back on top. And we're back to all the zeros. Again, I got the same maker funnel I showed you earlier for 7mm mag, and I got it for 308 caliber as well. So these funnels, you can see here, this one is for the 308, and they just sit. They sit perfectly on, and when you look in there, hopefully you can see the powder just falls through, doesn't catch in nothing, and this just comes on and off. They're great funnels, so you can put it on there. So again, go in by, bring this around here, go in by the Norma. On a Norma, you can see it's given us 203B, anything from 42 to 44 on the powder. So that gives us a little bit of a scale there of where we can go with it. So we're going to start at 43. When I'm doing this, we're going to do 3 lots. We're going to do 43, 44, and 45. Let me just check if anybody else. Macman, when you did that powder deal, did you also use a gun and a mask? No, I didn't, Willie. He came to me. I didn't even ask. He came to me and he said, I've had this powder for a while. It's sitting on the shelf. Nobody wants to buy Norma powder. I want to flip it and get rid of it and get something else in here. And I just said, yep, let's do it. And for that, it was a no-brainer. It was just, I had to buy it. So I didn't know. I'd never used Norma powder before. I didn't know how good or bad it was. But to be honest with you, this 203, I've had really, really good results with it. So I'll try and get it all in here. So it's still showing 62 from when we used the 7mm mag. And all you want to go in, you don't have to clear nothing. All you can do is you can just go straight in and just press 43.0. So you've got 43.0 grains. Hit the blue button and off it goes. So you can see it's dropping from the big, then it goes on to the small. .43, there you go, 43. And I don't know if you can see, sometimes there's a light that shines down which is red, and it just goes green then when it's ready. So dump the powder, move the funnel, pop it back in, and it automatically starts again. I'll just do 3 rounds and then we'll go in and we'll do the next step and then the next step. So 42, 43. So we can just pull it out, move the funnel. Yeah, so we did the Formula 1 Grand Prix, and then it was like a 6-hour drive back to Niagara. So on the way back on the Monday, I dropped my daughter and my son-in-law off at the airport because they were coming home. And me and my wife stayed on for an extra 5 or 6 nights in Niagara. And we had a great time. So I'm only going to do 3 cases. So we're at 43. Just hit that button, turns it back to blue. We can empty that out. When we put that back in, then it doesn't automatically start. Move the funnel to the next row. And it's a matter of where we were at 43. We can just go in and do 44.0. We've gone up a grain, hit the button, and there it goes. So changing. So say that you want to do multiple weights for different bullets, if you're doing ladder tests or if you're doing checking which is the best powder you want to use. You can see how quickly there are. We're at 44. How quickly with the app changing the weight of the powder in seconds. There you go, 44. On to the next. Move the funnel. And it comes up. So you can see with a lesser powder, it's quicker. It's going through pretty quick. A few seconds and it's done. There we go, 44. So because it's the last batch of 44, we hit the button. Goes back to blue. Pull that one out. Drop it in. Go on to the next level, where this one's going to be 45. So it's just a matter of hitting 45.0. Hit the blue, and off it goes again. And now it's changed, and it'll drop the 45 grains. Yeah, 44.98, 45. Just pull it out. Move the funnel. I think there might be some grains left in that one. There we go. It needs to go back to 0 before it restarts. And it dropped 45.02, so fractionally over on that one, which is no problem. Drop it back in, move the funnel. I got the AC blowing in here, so it's it might be just affecting it just a touch. So that one's gone over. What we're going to do is we're going to take that out. Empty it in there. Pop that back on there. All zeros. So if you overthrow or underthrow, if you underthrow, you can trickle it up on your phone. If you overthrowed, just pull it out, dump it, and get the next one. So 45. So that's the 3 done. Turn it back to blue. It won't go anymore. There you go. Pull the funnel out. So we got the charges where we have, you can see in there, bottom ones, we've got 43 grains, 44 grains, and 45. And 45 grains pretty much, drop a few kernels out, 45 grains comes right up to the top of the shoulder, just starting on the neck. If you can see that in there, without tipping them too much. They come up pretty much to the shoulder onto the neck. So I wouldn't go. You can do compressed loads. I've never done compressed loads. I just don't like the idea of a compressed load, even though they're probably quite safe. I'm not going to be going into the part of doing a compressed load. So 45 grains at the top end there is going to be about as far as I go. Just pop that there. Willie says, Willie Coat is saying, I wish I had a AC in the reloading room. Yeah, I had this unit put in. Let's see if I can bring it up so you can see. So I had one of these units put in, these single units. In the winter, it pumps out heat. And obviously in the summer, it pumps out cold. And the main reason I went for it, I could work out here when it was hot, but because I've got these animals out here, there's 2 in there at the moment. The taxidermist said you need to keep these temperatures to a certain point, otherwise you're going to ruin the animal. So I think he said you don't want to be going above sort of 85 degrees. It dries them out too much and it'll spoil them. So the main reason I put AC in here is when I put my mounts in here, I'm not going to ruin the mounts. Okay, so that's set up there. So you saw me earlier just moving this round to set up for the 308. So you can raise the arm, unscrew this lock nut, lift it out, lift the 7mm mag shell holder out, pull the little C-clip off. I can go back for there and then grab your 308, slide it onto the C-clip. I'm seeing that on the camera. Just sit it back inside, give it a little bit of a shake, and then tighten your lock nut back down. And it's easy as that. Just cycle it a couple of times to make sure that it's all square and it's nipped up. You can see this shell holder still moves because it's sitting on a little rubber little O-ring in there. So I don't know, I'm using a different bullet. So this seat and die, just wind it out. Can wind it out, lock that down, take it up, and then we can wind it down to get the length that we need. So I have these. I have these Hornady 150 grain GRSP interlocks. Again, I bought it in a batch from before, and these have got these flat bases on them as well. So you need to be nice and careful with them when you're doing it. So again, we're not doing a full reload. All we've done is the last 2 steps. All the rest of it has been done in a different step. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop the 308 case in there, grab one of the projectiles and just sit it on. And now we need to be super careful because there's no real boat tail or anything in there. So you want to try and make sure it's sitting as square as you can and slowly bring it up into the die and then seat. And it hopefully doesn't grip. You can see it's going in and it's not catching. So I know we need to be down on the cannula anyway. So we can just turn this down a little bit, seat it again, a little bit more, seat it again. And now we just do a measurement. You can see it's still working its way down. So this 150 grain bullet, SP bullet, is an overall length going by the lineman book of 2.735. So you can see we're 2.855 there. So we got a little bit to go. So just walking it down a little bit at a time, half a turn, seat it, still down, nowhere near the cannula. Getting closer, we can go in and do your measurement. We're now at 2.802. So we are coming down. A little bit at a time. I should bring this up just a touch so you can see the adjustment. So now we're at I'm at 2.780. 2.780. And we were calling for 2.735. So we're almost there. So again, just little turns on the micrometer. Slowly seat it. Little measurement. And I'm at 2.71. 2.735. 2.735. No, I still need to go a little bit more by the looks of it. 2.735. So I need to go a little bit more again. So take that down just a touch more. 2.756. We're getting close. Touch more. 2.746. You can see we're now getting up into that cannon groove. Little turn again. 2.739. Just walking it down a couple of thou at a time. 2.735. 2.735. As you can see, it's not gone down past the hole. You can still see a little bit of the groove, but even though we're not going to be putting a crimp in this because I've already 5,000 tension on here. So there you go. So going on to the next round, pop it in, grab one of the projectiles, and then this time, because we're going to be seating it all the way down, just make sure that it's sitting as square as you can get it. Doesn't want to sit there on top, so I'm going to have to hold it and feed it through. So just take it up into the die, nice and slow, and then once you feel the contact, slowly seat it. And there you go. It hasn't damaged. It hasn't pushed it down. And when I did the full seat on this one all the way down, I could feel quite a bit of pressure as I was squeezing it down. And that's down to the 5 thou of tension that I built into the neck before we did it. And then this one is at 2.733. That one was. It's a little bit shorter, but I think it's down to the soft points having the little dings and things in them. So I'll just do one more. So you can just pop it in, hold the bullet square as you can get it. Sorry, I'm probably blocking this a bit with my hand. Bring it up into the die. Let the die centralize everything. And once you feel it come into a stop, and then slowly seat it into place all the way up. And again, we can check. You can see there's no damage on the neck at all. It's not bulged or twisted or dented. And there you go, 2.735. So there you go. Dropping some powder, seating some bullets. What could be better than a Monday afternoon, a Monday evening? Okay, I can see Elliot, AR Patriot, has joined us. Good to see you. See if there's anybody else jumped on that I need to say hi to. I think I said hi to James Pollard earlier. We're just going to go in and we'll do the giveaway, guys, and just check in and make sure that I haven't missed anybody. So it's going to be hashtag Mac55. Let me put the banner up here. Where's my... There you go. Hashtag Mac55 will get you in the draw for those stickers, patches on the screwdriver tonight, guys. If anybody wants to quickly do it before we do the draw. I think I'm up to date with everybody. Bamba Dad says good night, everyone. He's left us. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. And there you go. So, there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that tonight. Running through the scales and my little zero press. Two fantastic bits of equipment. They're definitely not entry-level equipment. They're a little bit spendy, but you know me, I don't buy cheap and nasty. I like the good stuff. I spend a lot of time out here, so shooting, reloading is basically my life, so I don't mind spending a little bit on equipment that really makes the job nice and easy and gets nice precision rounds and everything. So I'm going to go in and share this screen, guys. Let's see, look, we've got 20 entries in here. So let me go in and share the screen. Get this prize draw done. Giveaway, share. You can see there's 20 entries in there. There you go. So good luck, everybody. Let's give this a spin. There it goes. My pen. Oh, well, one guy. Congratulations. And let me just double check in my address book here. Yes, I got your details. Oh, well, one guy. I will get them packed up and just write on these quickly. Yeah, so congratulations. Oh, well, one guy. I will get those stickers and patches sent out to you. Let me just get back. There we go. Gone. So congratulations. Like I said, I'll get that packed up and sent out. I thought I saw a comment come in, but Kyle says that's a cool press and scale. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. So like I said, guys, I really apologize for last Monday. I know I did say I was going to run a stream. But as you all know, I'm putting this third truck on at the moment. So much work involved. Just because it's a franchise. Mac needs so much paperwork from me just to, I don't know, so much nonsense what they need from me. So I keep sending them stuff and they're asking for more stuff. But, excuse me, it's all going ahead. And he should be on the road third week of July. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll all be done by then. So it was just so hectic here last Monday, so busy. I was hoping to get all the work done before the 6 o'clock deadline. But I'll be honest with you, I worked through till 1 o'clock in the morning. And I really apologize. I missed that stream. I hate saying that I'm going to run a stream and then I can't do it. But I apologize for that. But sometimes work has to come first. Fun has to come second, even though I wish it was the other way around. But yeah, I really appreciate you all jumping on tonight, guys. I think it went pretty well. I really enjoy using these scales and this zero press. It makes the reloading process for me super satisfying and I enjoy it. So a huge thanks to you all for jumping on tonight. So we'll be back to normal next week, Monday. Hopefully I can jump on somebody's stream during the week. Don't forget we got AR Patriot. He runs on a Wednesday night. Elliot, AR Patriot 1776 on a Wednesday night. Christmas 740 Thursday nights. Our good friends, Georgia Shooting Connection, Friday night, followed by Gizzard Gary. And Saturday night, we got Hillbilly. Saturday evening, we got Hillbilly as well. So I haven't been on Hillbilly show for a while, and I'm itching to get back on. That show is so much fun to do that. So hopefully I'd have caught up with some of my work this week and I can get back on messing around and playing around with you guys. So yeah, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, AR Patriots show starts on Wednesday night. So jump over onto his show. Always a fun show as well. So pop over and say hi to him. So we've been going just over an hour. You know, I like to keep it to an hour, guys. So huge thanks to everybody. I really appreciate you all jumping on and spending some time with me. And congratulations to OL1 guy. I'll get that stuff sent out to you. And be safe, guys. Look after yourselves, and we'll catch you on the next. Good night, everyone.